Hi, this is Drew Loker, and today we'll be starting SS2 Activity 6. For our final spreadsheet activity, we're going to build a goal-setting tracker. This particular activity does not involve any formulas and simply uses a spreadsheet in a fantastic way to organize your data and to provide a system in which to track what it is exactly you want to accomplish. One of the things that I've learned in the years that I've been focusing on accomplishing goals is that if the goal is written down, you're far more likely to accomplish it. And even better, if you can put a picture of the goal that you want to accomplish. The more you can visualize what you want to accomplish, the more likely you're going to actually achieve that goal. So this spreadsheet activity has two objectives. The primary objective is to continue using a spreadsheet to your advantage. But even more important, to develop actually a real system for you to list out specific goals that you want to accomplish. You will need 3 short-term goals that you want to accomplish in the next year, 3 medium-term goals that you want to accomplish in the next 5 years, let's say 4 to 5 years by the time you graduate from high school, and 3 longer-term goals, let's say by the age of 25, things that you want to accomplish shortly after you graduate from high school. So hopefully I've already mentioned a little bit about this assignment to you to begin brainstorming. Initially, we're going to get the setup done. On the assignment sheet, you have screenshots of what this activity needs to look like. So the first few steps are to simply get the details into place. And hopefully also while you're working on your other activities, 4, 5, and beginning activity 6 is to develop your 9 goals. That is your first objective as you have time. But the main thing to do right now is to type in the data that you see below in the 2 screenshots. Now row 2 does contain instructions, and that does not have to be typed in, but you can type it in if you want. Row 15 is a sample, and you also do not have to type it in either. The sample will be here that you can refer back down to if you need some help on how to set that goal. Now, one of the things also as a third objective is to learn what exactly is a SMART goal. So today's focus started us on the idea of defining what a SMART goal is. The letters S-M-A-R-T actually spell out a specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goal. So it needs to be something that is clearly stated, not just a behavior objective, like you want to be a better student is not necessarily a specific goal. It's a good behavior objective, but it's not a goal. So we need something that's specific, like read 5 new books by December of 2018. Of course, now we're in April, so you could say that by May of 2019, you want to read 5 books to finish off the year. So I've got some samples on the slide after today's focus that goes over some sample of student goals. And these are goals that students actually turned in to me. At the top on this slide, I actually have a list of some of my sample goals, things that I'd like to accomplish, perhaps participating in a triathlon. I took out the word Ironman because that's really just not achievable for me at this particular point, or at least it's not something that I want to try to do. An Ironman triathlon is a very long endurance with a run that's a full marathon, like a 26-mile run. But I've got pictures of the goals that I would like to accomplish in the next few years, including a pool, planting more blueberry trees, which actually I've already accomplished, which February 2019, plant 20 additional blueberry trees, and we just finished that off during spring break. So, you can see my goals and that I've got some pictures of things that I want to accomplish. So what I want you to do, let's go back to our assignment right here, is first to build the spreadsheet with the data in the correct place. And this is what the spreadsheet is going to look like. You can pause the video or look on the assignment tab. And in row 1, cell A1, you're going to put Goal Tracker. And then in 3, A3, B3, C3, you'll put in S, M, and you can go ahead and spell out. You can abbreviate if you want to, as long as the basic details. I want the S and the M, the A and the R and the T all in the place. You don't necessarily have to put what's in parentheses. Now, milestones are not necessary for your short-term goals because those are generally a 1-year or less goal. A medium-term goal does need one milestone generated for it. This is something that you would accomplish in the medium term, like shorter than the longer goal set. For example, on the example I gave you, I said that I wanted to participate and complete a triathlon by the year 2022. By the end of 2019, I need to be swimming 2 times a week, running 2 times a week, and cycling 2 times a week. So that would be a milestone goal, or an even better specific milestone goal would be to complete a standard, a smaller preparatory triathlon in the year 2019. That would be possibly a good second milestone. So looking back at our assignment right here, go ahead and fill in each of the columns. H through K are your tracking columns. Those are things that you'll actually fill in. Hopefully you'll continue to use this. Go ahead and put the section headings for the assignment. All that I'm going to check for is that you have the basic assignment set up and that you have filled in A5 through E7. You do have to write in your goals for full credit for this assignment. You will need A10 through F12 filled in with your goals, and then A15 through G17 will need to be filled in. So looking at our sample goal that was provided to us, we have a trip to Latin America, long-term goal, maybe by the year 2025. For you, maybe 2025 would be about 6 years from now, so that may be a little bit too short of a goal. Spend 2 weeks in Central America would be the expected outcome. So your specific goal is to take a trip to Latin America. And how will you achieve this goal? You do need to accumulate $3,000 to take a trip like this, maybe even learn Spanish, plus have work vacation time stored up. The relevancy of this is, why do you want to take the trip? In order to achieve a goal, it is very helpful to know why it is exactly that you want to accomplish a goal. And then the time date specific is March 2025. And a milestone would be that at the end of summer 2020 to have read a novel in Spanish, so you would have need to have learned how to read Spanish, familiar well enough to actually read a novel. And a milestone 2, by 2022, be able to have a conversation in Spanish. So those are the milestone goals to be able to take a trip to Latin America so that you can be prepared and enjoy the culture. All right, so let's go back to the assignment instructions. And what you're going to do is create a brand new tab on the existing sheet, Budget for Teenager Activity 4, College Planner Activity 5, and let's rename this assignment Goal Tracker Activity 6. So once you have your basic data in place, the next step will be to freeze rows 1 and 3 by dragging down that gray bar and parking it underneath row 3 above row 4. And that way, as you scroll down through your goals, the top heading will not change. And then you'll notice that row 4 does have something special done to it. Just to show that, because I did it while the video was paused, I'm going to copy and paste over 4. And all you really need to do is just type in short-term goals. And you'll notice it bleeds over a little bit or overflows into B, and that's okay. But basically what I did was I highlighted from A4 through G4, and I merged that cell. I merged all. And what it did was it made a header row. And that's not critical that you do that, but that's a neat lesson to learn. I can go ahead and do Control B to bold that. And then I'm going to go ahead and skip on down to skip 3 lines, and I'm going to type in medium-term goals. And then I'm going to skip 3 lines and do the long-term goals. So we're going to highlight cells 5A through, and this one we don't need our milestone. We're going to go ahead and color those blue, just a light pastel blue, and you can color the rest of the cells accordingly. So at this point, it is simply a matter of picking what goals that you want to work on. I do not have the sample of student goals broken down into short-term, medium-term, or long-term goals that would be for you to do. This task, this activity 6, is not a difficult activity as far as doing the basic setup. what makes this activity a little bit more complicated is that you actually have to write some goals. Now, I realize as an 8th grader, you don't normally have a habit of sitting down and writing some goals. So one of the primary objectives of this assignment is to get you started on that. And I promise you, the more you write down your goals and what you want to accomplish, the better the chance of you actually accomplishing what it is that you set out that you want to do. So even if all you do is copy and paste some goals from here, I'm not going to take any points off if all you do is copy some goals. But I would like to really encourage you. If you'd like to have a car when you're 16 years old, why not put it down as a medium-term goal right now, so that by the time you're 16, I think this would be a very good goal to put in for all of you all in a medium-term goal, that by the time you're 16, go ahead and be focused on that goal today. Or otherwise, you might actually be riding a bike when you're 16, 17, 18 years old. Nothing wrong with that. You might even want a better bicycle for right now. You could put that down as a short-term goal. It's a great way to get around. Of course, times are a little bit different for you than they were for me. I didn't have to worry about text messengers on the road. Distracted drivers are a very big problem as far as being able to commute around a city like Beaumont, which is not real conducive to commuting by bicycle. But lots of people do, and it might be something that would be in your future. But anyway, look over the goals over here. Find 3 goals for each of the sections and do the best you can with this. Have some fun with it. More importantly, try to pick some realistic goals, things that you actually do want to accomplish. I realize that asking you to focus on a goal when you're 20 years old is a long way off, but things like going to college should be on the list. The things that you want to do, move out of your parents' house and get a nicer car and get buy your first house or be able to rent your first apartment. These are all types of things that you want to go ahead and put in place, because the bottom line is when you have a goal that you want to focus on, it focuses you. It allows you to want to do those things. And it gives you the motivation to be successful in school. Why come to school every day? Why learn? Why excel at school right now as an 8th grader? Because the more likely that you excel now is going to make it even easier for you to accomplish your goals later when you want to accomplish them. So if you want to be able to afford college or move out of your parents' house, these are things that you need to be preparing for today, so that when you're ready at age 20 or 18 or whenever it is that you're ready to go, that you'll be able to take care of those objectives. All right, hope you enjoy this and have some fun with it, and make sure, most importantly, that it actually works for you.